presents Lincoln College Basketball on 88.9 FM and streaming live from the iHeartRadio app.
Hi, and welcome to Marshall, Missouri, where your Lincoln College Lynx in town, taking on, again, Missouri Valley, a familiar face that we've seen so once already in this season so far. The Lynx coming off a big win against them. That was 83-76 back on November 10th. I'm Nick Jackson, bringing Lynx basketball to you live, as usual, right here from, again, Missouri Valley. I couldn't think of the term there for a second, but again, we are in Missouri Valley in Marshall, Missouri here in this one. The Lynx coming off a very tough loss, a 93-92 loss in overtime to Indiana University Northwest, and I can't stress it enough. It seems like the Lynx have been bitten by the overtime, and they lost by one bug for I don't know how many games now. We've played 12 games already on this young season. 4 of them in overtime, all by one. So I'm sure that does not make Coach Lepp any happier here in this one, as those are all winnable games for this Lynx squad, but just could not come out on top. Speaking of that, though, LJ Johnson led the way in that ball game, had 29 points and 7 boards. Unfortunately, it was not good enough for a Lynx W. Along with Trayvon Tyler, he had 20 points in that loss, along with 6 assists and 5 rebounds in that ball game, along with Julian Powell as well. He had a double-double, the first double-double that he has lost in his career as a Lynx here in this one, but he will see if he can return yet again and kind of give us the same performance in that ball game as well. However, for Missouri Valley, they come in 3-5 on this young season as well, 1-4 in conference play. As their last game, they're coming off a tough loss against Baker University right here on their home floor. They lost 65-61 in that game. They were leading at halftime, and they did everything they could do possibly right in that ball game, but they were bitten kind of like the Lynx. You ask for these players to do so much, and still sometimes you can't come out on top here in this one. But again, they ended up holding Baker to 36% in that ball game from the field. They held them to 36% shooting and definitely out-rebounded Baker University as well, 43-39 on the boards, but still was not able to come away with the victory. They lost by 4 in that game. But again, that's something the Lynx are going to have to look for here tonight, as the Lynx not doing the greatest of jobs of getting out-rebounded, and kind of need to do their part on the offensive side of the glass, as Missouri Valley had 32 points in the paint in the loss against Baker University. So look for them to kind of do the same thing here with the Lynx. But the Lynx, they got some giants down there playing. You got J.J. Turner along with Tyrone Wright, maybe even Roy Nesbitt get some action in this one as well, along with, again, the big man Julian Powell and Joseph Gomez down low as well. Never know with him. Johnson also can rebound a time or two, as this Lynx team getting geared up and set to go here for their second meeting with Missouri Valley, this time on their home turf. The Lynx won on, again, the Jack Dean Arena against these guys. We'll see if they can take game number 2 against them as well. And with that being said, the last time we saw Missouri Valley, just for your information, there was 3 technical fouls called in that ball game, all coming on Missouri Valley. So I would imagine the Lynx, they'll keep their cool here in this one. As, again, also as well, no LJ Johnson and no Bindum either. We're going to take a quick break for the national anthem, and we'll have the starting lineups when we come back. So don't go anywhere. More Lincoln College basketball next.
For some people, difficult transitions like retirement, divorce, or loss of a loved one may contribute to feelings of hopelessness or even thoughts of suicide. The risk of suicide is even higher for men over 50 who served our country. Guys like me. Support from friends and family makes such a big difference. Every day, your actions could help save a life. Learn how you can help at veteranscrisisline.net.
So, who's going to do what? Flashlights?
Nowhere to be found.
Emergency supply kits?
Not packed.
What about blankets?
We have an old towel.
Cell phones?
May not work.
Emergency water?
Not a drop.
Perfect. We all know where we're meeting if we're separated.
The library. On Jones House.
The bus stop.
And I'll be waiting here wondering where you all are. Great. It sounds like we don't have a plan.
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency. Who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
If you're a single man under the age of 35, you'd probably like to know what the ladies are looking for on an online dating site. A guy who had a few drinks and later got pulled over for buzzed driving. See, that could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And doesn't a guy who's back living with his parents but calls them my roommates just scream Mr. Right?
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I was sensitive to lights and sounds, so I built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. Sometimes I do the same things over and over, until one day I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
To buy your home, you became a house hunting ace. Learned about loans, scoured neighborhoods, and asked the right questions. Now you're queen of your castle. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. With 401k tips and smart saving strategies, you'll feel empowered to own your retirement like you own your home. Go to aceyourretirement.org. Because when it comes to clearing financial hurdles, you're an ace. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
We're back here at Marshall University, or at Missouri Valley University in Marshall, Missouri. That's going to give me fits all day long. But now it's the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time to meet the starting lineups here first for your visiting Lincoln College Lynx. Not much has changed here for Coach Lepp's squad, as, again, L.J. Johnson back in the starting lineup, a 6'3 guard, a senior out of Glenwood, Illinois, followed by Montez Crumble, a 5'10 sophomore guard out of Cahokia, Illinois. And then the former player of the year, freshman player of the year as well, Trayvon Tyler, the real leader of this team, the junior who stands 6'1 out of Rockford, Illinois. And then number 12, Darnell Latham Jr., another sophomore guard, a transfer, stands 6'1 out of Chicago. And then the big man down low, where's number 21, the 6'9 senior out of Baytown, Texas, number 21, Julian Powell. Now let's meet the starting lineup here for Missouri Valley. Missouri Valley will have a 5'9 sophomore, Jacob Coran. He'll wear number 2, followed by Gabe McKenzie, the senior, who stands 6'5 out of Canton, Missouri. Followed by Larry Plummer, a 6'2 senior out of Sicily Islands. Now number 24, Alonzo Williams, also a junior, 6'5 out of Kansas. And then the big man down low for them, number 34, D'Angelo Ranger, who's a senior, 6'6 senior out of Skokie, Illinois. He'll get the start down low again. That's really going to be the key matchup for him. And to watch Julian Powell kind of fight the big man Ranger down low. And Powell had 16 and 12 against the Missouri Valley team the first go around. Oh, thank you. And also, we're getting set here. I believe I just got some lifesavers here. Gotta love them all. Thank you so much. As we're set to tip, the Lynx in the road black uniforms here today. Missouri Valley, the Vikings in the home white uniforms. I believe, if not, they wore white when they came over to Lincoln as well. But Ranger will win the tip, and here we go. We're set for Lincoln College basketball in Marshall, Missouri. So it will be the Vikings with the first possession here in this one, as Williams to McKenzie, who drives baseline, kicks it out to Plummer. Plummer for 3 from the top of the key. No. That ball's tipped. Offensive rebound by Ranger. Put back. No. Might have been tipped around by Powell. Pulled down by Tyler into Latham, who had it tipped out of bounds, who was running in transition. An easy 2 for the Lynx, but he couldn't corral, and it's out of bounds. Here comes Missouri Valley back the other way. And for Missouri Valley, they are led by Chad Lance. And he's in the turnaround right hook to go as they're on the board first here. 2-0 Vikings. over your Lynx. Tyler puts it back down the floor, across the court, pass to Johnson. Over to Latham. Latham had a wide open three in the corner, instead drives in and puts it up off the glass. Can't get it to go, too strong. Rebounded by McKenzie and the Vikings. They're trying to push the pace. Karan now trying to go coast to coast, drives in right side lane, kicks it back out to Williams. He now drives in left side lane, puts one up off the glass and gets it to go through contact. No foul was called though, however, as it's now 4-0. Trayvon Tyler and the Lynx looking for their first basket of the ball game.
Hey, hold down!
As Tyler now has it. Gets a screen from Powell. He's at the top of the key. Swinging it to the left corner now. Johnson looking for Montez Crummel. Instead, they're going to draw up a play here with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Nothing going on here for the Lynx. Now Johnson trying to drive into the lane. Had it poked away. Saved it from going out of bounds, but they're going to say he stepped on the baseline. So a poor possession there for the Lynx as they basically everyone was standing around for the final 10 seconds and then had no idea what to do from there. So it is a turnover by the Lynx. And here comes the Vikings back the other way. 4-0 is the score. Plummer now to Ranger at the top of the key. Over to Williams. Little give and go with Karan now. Karan has it to win for Williams. Over to corner now and Plummer. Plummer guarded very closely, met by Tyler. Back to the corner now, and I believe that one was Collins the third, who just checked in for Gabe McKenzie, as he's on the board for a long two. Mid-range jumper from the corner. It's 6-0 now, Vikings. Here come the Lynx now, still trying to find some offense in the first couple minutes of this ball game. As Johnson looked at the top of the key, looked instead, goes to the right wing for Tyler. Tyler now guarded by Williams, wants a screen, gets one from Powell, picks up his dribble, finds Crummel. Crummel drives in left side lane, kicks out to Latham, who had a low pass. Had to catch it near his knees to find Powell. Powell with the jumper from the free throw line, no. And it's rebounded by the Vikings. Here they come now the other way. Crom to Plummer. Plummer on the right wing, across the court pass. Williams, who thought about a step back three, instead finds Granger at the top key. Over to Karan. Bounce passes down low to Collins. Collins back out to Ranger at the top of the key, trying to work on Montez. Crummel drives into the lack, puts it up on the right side lane off the glass, and that one goes for Ranger. And it's 8-0 here as the Lynx trying to get on the scoreboard right here in the first 3 minutes of the ball game. Crummel now with it, trying to drive in on Collins' left side. Bounce passes one to Tyler. Tyler in the corner for three. No, off the back of the rim and out. It was halfway down, but couldn't get it to go. Williams pulls down the rebound for the Vikings, and once again going back the other way as the Lynx held scoreless. Back to Plummer. Plummer gets a screen at the top of the key. Now passes one to Granger. Bounce pass down low. Give and go with Plummer. He'll lay it up and in off the glass. Ranger staying at the free throw line. Little give and go with Plummer, who cut to the basket, and he'll lay it up and in for an easy 2. 10-0 run here to start the ball game for the Vikings on their home floor. Tyler now with it, trying to drive in right side lane, kind of create an offense for himself, and he does. He draws a foul going to the rack in the act of shooting, so he'll go to the line for 2 as the foul is going to go on Ranger. That's going to be his first. Team's first as well. First foul called in this ball game. And Chad Lance, the head coach for Missouri Valley in his 16th season. Also, you have Coach Lepper here for the Lynx in his 6th season, first in the NAIA. And so far, so good for Coach Lepp as well. I know he's got to be frustrated with his team a little bit. They're only 6-6, but again, very well easily could be 10-2 if some of these games just could have went their way. That one off the front of the rim and out, no good. So Tyler misses a pair from the free throw line, and then Julian Powell called for an over and back, trying to fight for the rebound. So that'll be his first and the team's first as well. So here comes Missouri Valley already on a 10-0 run here to start the ball game. 16 minutes left to play the first half. They did like Collins now with it. That one's tipped out to Plummer. Plummer had a wide open three, step in, and takes up a shot, and is fouled hard by Trayvon Tyler as he kind of got him on the arm on the mid-range jumper. So Trayvon Tyler will pick up his first, team's second. Just needing this one. But that'll put Plummer at the line. Plummer's first one in and out for him. Rims look to be a little bouncy here to start the ball game. We had a JV match beforehand. It was Quincy University and Missouri Valley's JV program, and it was a good game. They definitely gave Quincy a fight, but Quincy prevailed at the end. As Tyrone Wright goes to the scores table to check in. He makes 1 of 2 from the line. Does Plummer. And it's 11-0 now. Tyler now with it at the top of the key. 17 on the shot clock. Gets a screen. Still has nowhere to go. Takes a step back 3 now. As that one off the front of the back of the rim and no good. Loose ball. Powell comes down with it. Out to Latham. Latham with the jumper. No. From the top of the key. This time rebounded by the Vikings yet again. Here they come back the other way on an 11-0 run. Williams over to Plummer. Plummer wants a screen instead. Drives baseline. Puts one up off the glass. Up and under move over Johnson and gets it to go. Right now it's all Vikings here in this one. As it's 13-0. J.J. Turner also went to the... And Johnson picked up his dribble, has nowhere to go. Out to Tyler. Tyler from way downtown, and he rattles one in. And finally, that's the first basket here for the Lynx as Coach Lepp calls a 30-second timeout here in this one. But the Lynx 13-3 here to start this ball game. And not something that Coach Lepp or I'm sure anybody had in mind. But they're going to have to come from behind yet again. In the game the other day, it was 21-9 in favor of Indiana Northwest, and the Lynx had to crawl their way back into that one, and eventually they did. Should have won that game, but could not. So we'll see. They're gonna have their work cut out for them right here in this one. And also, one thing you might want to look out for is you can already see that the Vikings trying to work inside with Plummer and Ranger down low. I'd try to get some of them in foul trouble, especially with Ranger already having 1 foul. I mean, when there's no offense going around, I mean, credit the Vikings right now. They're playing some stellar defense and moving their feet, but they're going to have to get a little bit better looks offensively. As now Cody Jackson, who checked for the Vikings, goes to the left side of the lane and draws contact in the act of shooting, as Tyrone Wright is going to pick up a foul. That's his first, team's third here in the half. As Cody Jackson knocks down the first one. Right there again, the Lynx struggling offensively. Got to find something here in this ball game. I mean, the Lynx, the last time we played Missouri Valley, didn't shoot too particularly that bad. It was 44% from the field, going 17-36 in that ball game. As now Latham has a lane. He drives to the rack. Looked like he has fouled. No, but J.J. Turner's there for the offensive rebound and put back. So Turner on the board here for the Lynx. Is that here in this one? 15-5. Now as here comes the Vikings back the other way. Cody Jackson over to Williams. Williams as he hands off to Plummer on the left wing. Over to Cody Jackson, swinging around to the right corner. Now for Williams. Over to Collins. Collins takes the mid-range jumper from the baseline. No. Latham pulls down the board for the Lynx. The Rangers on the floor. They have numbers here. As Crummell now trying to drive into the lane. Give and go with Tyrone Wright. As he's now have to pick up his dribble. Kicks it back out to Crummell. Crummell in the corner for 3. No. Off the side of the rim and out. Into the hands of Williams, who's trying to push the pace. Give and go with Cody Jackson, who put that one up off the glass and rebounded by Tyler. Tyler now going to slow the pace down and set up the offense here for the Lynx. As L.A. Bogan now goes to the scores table to see his first minutes. It's Tyler now trying to drive into the lane right side. He picks up his dribble, and we're going to have a traveling violation as he the dribble, and it was almost kind of a crossover type thing. He mishandled the dribble, kind of popped up, and he tried to shoot it. Regained control, and they called a traveling violation right there. So a turnover by the Lynx yet again, and we're going back the other way. 15-5 is our score with 14 minutes left to play in this first half. And this was a Lynx team that put up 45 in the Jack D. Nutt Arena against Missouri Valley in the first half. Last to right side corner for Karan. Karan. Now Plummer. It right back off. As he hands it to Darnell Watson, who checked well. Now with the 4 on the shot clock, he takes a long 3. No, that ball's tipped in the air and rebounded by the Lynx. Turner had Latham on a fast break, but read it all the way. Now that one's tipped by Bogan, and it somehow finds, I believe, that one's going to be Cody Jackson, who ends up laying it in for an easy 2. Bad break there for the Lynx. On that one, they had a wide open Darnell Latham running in transition and then could not capitalize. Also, Tremont Moore checks into the ballgame as Tyler draws a foul, trying to go to the baseline. And they're going to put that one on Darnell Watson. So that's going to be his first, team's second here in this one, as Gabe McKenzie checks back in along with Mason Schulzenhauer. Here comes DeAndre Freeman as well. He'll get Latham. And you got to remember, too, 5 John Wood players who have seen Coach Lepp's squad before, all here playing for Missouri Valley. Gabe McKenzie and Schulzenhauer are 2 of them out on the floor right now, as Tyler in the left corner picks up his dribble, finds Tyrone Wright. Out to Freeman now with 7 seconds on the shot clock. Freeman at the top of the key. Has to work on something, trying to drive in, puts up a little floater, and somehow gets it to go high off the backboard. Not even near the square behind it, as McKenzie at the top of the key faked a 3, now sets a screen as he gives it back to Cody Jackson. He's on the right wing. Over now to Watson, who takes a 3, no good, rebounded by Tyler. He outlets now to Bogan, who's running the floor. Bogan now trying to drive in, kicks it back out to Wright. Wright in the left corner, drives left side, baseline, and goes to the rack, draws a foul in the act of shooting after up and under move there. As the foul is going to go, they're going to give that one to Tremont Moore. So his first, team's third, as both teams are at 3 team fouls apiece. As Wright misses the first free throw right there. LJ Johnson checks back in. He gets Trayvon Tyler. So you have Johnson, Freeman, Bogan, Wright, and Turner on the floor here for the Lynx. They trail by 9, 17-8 after that made free throw right there by Tyrone Wright. 12 minutes left to play in this first half. A great defensive battle right here. The Vikings now coming back the other way. Schulzenhauer with it at the top of the key over to McKenzie. Guarded very closely by Turner. Back to the top of the key in Karan. Karan back to McKenzie. McKenzie for 3 this time. That one's halfway down and out, but instead pops out and into the hands of L.A. Bogan. Bogan with a no-look pass to Turner. Turner trying to drive baseline. Kicks it back out to the top of the key for Bogan. A no-look pass somehow gets to Wright. It was deflected, though. Back to Freeman, and he'll set up the offense here with 17 on the shot clock. Freeman, he got his first collegiate start the other day and started the first half. It's now L.J. Johnson from the parking lot is going to bury one from way downtown. Finally, the Lynx, the second 3 of the ball game, as it's now 17-11 with 11 and a half minutes left to play in this first half. Schulzenhauer now with it at the top of the key. Has it poked by Turner, but gets it back. He's still with it, trying to find Karan. He does, but guarded very closely by Freeman, way out near midcourt. And Karan, now he falls, ball's on the floor. Freeman didn't hesitate as there's 10 seconds. Karan dishes it over now to Watson. Watson down low with Moore. Moore reverse layup and under, gets that one to go. And the Lynx cannot catch a break right there. They had a few tips on the passing lanes, but couldn't get that one to go. As Johnson now with it, picks up his dribble, has nowhere to go but Turner at the top of the key. Over to Freeman. Freeman trying to drive baseline on Karan, and he's going to draw a foul on Karan. A blocking foul. Here comes Julian Powell back into the ballgame for Tyrone Wright, as Cody Jackson also checked in. He got Karan for the Vikings. It will be Lynx basketball set underneath their own basket. They throw it into Powell to Johnson. Johnson from the corner and gets it to go. So Johnson's got the last 6 here for the Lynx. And now all of a sudden it's 19-14, a 5-point deficit here for the Lynx. They trail as many as 10 as now they get that one to Watson. Watson couldn't corral the pass as he was tangled up with L.J. Johnson, and they ended up drawing a foul. So Johnson will pick up his first, team's 4th here in this one. Again, one thing the Lynx have done a lot better is staying out of foul trouble. I have not seen him in a lot of early foul trouble here in the last couple games, as Cody Jackson now over to Moore, who missed bobbles it a little bit. Is now that one's stolen away by Bogan. He's all alone on the fast break. He's going coast to coast, and he's a 2-hand slam as L.A. Bogan slam sandwich. Slams it home, and now that's got the Lynx bench fired up. They're down by 3. 19-16, 10 minutes left to play. Here come your Lincoln Lynx. As Cody Jackson now to Williams. Williams double team now by Powell and Johnson. Kicks it back to McKenzie. Down low to Moore, who's got a hand in. Freeman's got a hand in, and now we have a traveling violation going against Tremont Moore, and that's going to be a turnover by the Vikings as Plummer checks back in for Schulzenhauer, and we're going to have a timeout taken by Chad Lamb. This is a Lynx team now back in it. As Johnson having a quick word with the official here in this one, and they say a media timeout. I believe they're live streaming the game here as well. Again, we're under 10 minutes to play. The Lynx battled all the way back. They trailed 17-7 at one point in this ball game and got it all the way back to 19-16 here in this one. So they are coming, and they are trying their best here to get the job done. And you saw L.J. Johnson starting to heat up from behind the arc. Look for him to get going. Trayvon Tyler, who was sitting next to me for a couple minutes, he was getting all up in the face of this Lynx team. He knows that he's the spark for this Lynx team, and even if he's on the bench, he's got to do everything he can to cheer his team on, and they played pretty well with it, and they do say I thought that was a spot foul. They were saying that he could run the floor, but he didn't make the basket, so kind of interesting kind of watching some of that right there. But again, look for L.J. Johnson. He had 29 in the game the other day against Indiana Northwest, and then he's coming off a pretty big game as well at William Woods, where he had 30 in that ball game. So I'd look for kind of L.J. Johnson or possibly maybe even Trayvon Tyler when he gets back out on the floor for those two to kind of spark it here for this Lynx team. Lynx down by 3 coming out of the timeout. It will be their basketball, and DeAndre Freeman running the point here for the Lynx. Guarded very closely by Cody Jackson. Freeman, a very good ball handler here for the Lynx. He should have no problem. Bogan swinging around to Johnson. Johnson in the corner and almost count the basket in the foul, but it's going to be a 3-point opportunity as L.J. Johnson stands up from the left corner, kind of gave the Vikings bench a look, but he's going to go to the line for 3 opportunities as that foul goes on Alonzo Williams. That's his first, his 5th. You can hear the student section here in this one, but Johnson didn't look pretty good on that free throw opportunity right there off the front of the rim and out, but he does have 2 more coming. As that one no good either. This Lynx team, who shot really well, they were perfect over the weekend in Joliet. I mean, it had to be about 30 free throws, 30, 35 free throws in a couple of 2 games. They knock all of them down. Now, so far, cannot buy a free throw so far, as even the cheerleaders kind of getting in on the action there. It's kind of going through those megaphones they got going on down there. He's hit 3, so it's 19-17, still in favor of the Vikings as their starting group back out there for them. As Cody Jackson now with it on the right wing. Back out now as he's still guarded by, you're looking for Plummer, but Johnson did a good job there keeping that sealed off. He finds Williams. Guarded very closely by Bogan. Gets a screen, takes a step back 3 from way downtown. No, he thought he had it. Offensive rebound goes to Ranger, but it's poked away by Freeman. Somehow finds Cody Jackson over to Williams. Williams makes one man miss, and then up and under move over the second as he made Powell leave his feet. Here come the Lynx working very quickly now here in this one. Freeman already across midcourt. Under 9 minutes to play, 21-17. Freeman wants a screen. He gets one from Powell, drives left side lane, puts up a floater off the glass. This time it cannot go as Williams pulls down the board. Outlet to Cody Jackson now. Jackson working on Turner. He's on the right wing, back to the left wing now for Williams. They're moving it around to Plummer. Plummer guarded by Freeman in the left corner, out to Ranger. Ranger to the right side corner, and Williams, who's wide open for 3, does take it. However, though, cannot hit as that ball's tipped into the hands of L.J. Johnson, who saves it from going out of bounds. And there come the Lynx back the other way. Johnson going to slow the pace down here for Coach Lepp's squad. Here comes Trayvon Tyler back to the scores table. I'm sure he'll come in for Freeman or maybe possibly L.J. Johnson. We'll have to see. Freeman now with it over to Johnson. Johnson guarded by Plummer. He takes a long 3. This time no good off the front of the rim. Might have got fouled by Plummer. Instead, this one from Cody Jackson trying to feed Plummer, but it's stolen away by Turner. A 4-on-3 fast break as Freeman with a no-look bounce pass to Bogan, who was running the floor, but it's going to be a kickball violation on Williams. So it will be Lynx basketball underneath their own basket with 27 on the shot clock as Freeman does check out. Trayvon Tyler comes back in for him as Trey Collins comes in as well. I believe he came in for McKenzie. Here comes Darnell Latham Jr. in for J.J. Turner. So the Lynx got almost their starting 5 back out there, except for Anthony Bogan. as they throw it into Powell. Powell to Tyler. Tyler from downtown wants a piece of the action. Can't get that one to go from the parking lot. Rebounded by Collins, the third for the Vikings, and here they come back 21-17 with 7.5 minutes to play in this first half. Williams down low to Collins Jr. Out to Ranger. Ranger at the top of the key trying to drive in, but took one too many steps before his dribble, and it's a traveling violation every time as we're going back the other way. Turnover by the Vikings. And this Lynx team, they're doing their part by creating some turnovers for this Lynx team, but however could not get it to go, as we'll see if the Lynx can capitalize here this time down the floor off the turnover. Tyler now with it at the top of the key, gets a screen from Powell, drives left side lane, down to Johnson. Johnson with a mid-range jumper, and he knocks it down, as that's really kind of L.J. Johnson's go-to spot, as it's now 21-19 in favor of Missouri Valley. They will have the basketball. Williams drives in left side lane and gets it to go. Hung up there for a little bit, but decided whether it wanted to kind of kick out or fall in, and it decided to fall in here for the Vikings. Tyler now with it. They switch, double team, finds Bogan down low. Little no-look pass to Latham Jr. in the corner for three. No. Rebounded by Williams. Williams in transition had Plummer. Instead, he's going to hold it and set up the offense. Cody Jackson now with it at the top of the key. Tremont Moore goes to the score as a no pass. Range a little too high. And that's what happens. You get a little too fancy there with some no-look passes as Roy Nesbitt checks in for Julian Powell. Gets his first minutes. Granger also checks out of the ball game. I believe Trent Moore came in for him, as Tyler's going to run the point here for the Lynx. Didn't know who was going to, whether Latham or Tyler. It will be Tyler. Tyler bounce passes one to Nesbitt down low as he turns around and goes straight to the rack, but he's going to be fouled hard on the play as Moore was there. Swiped down on that one. And they are going to give it to Moore, so he's going to pick up his second, team sixth here, and it was in the act of shooting, so Roy Nesbitt to the line for two opportunities. Granger, who just checked out of the ball game, already has to come back in. He's already at the scores table, as Nesbitt cannot find the bottom of the net here from the free throw line. This is a Lynx team that they've showed that they're vulnerable from the free throw line, but then a couple last weekend going on the road, like I said, they were perfect. So it's kind of interesting here that they've had their fair share of the battles from the free throw line. In the last game against Missouri Valley, the Lynx shot 57%, just 12 of 19 from the line. Nesbitt has one more. Second one off the back of the rim and out for Lincoln, as they do not make one, as it's 23-19 now with 6.5 minutes left to play in this first half. Williams and the Vikings with the lead and the basketball, as Watson picks up his dribble, takes a jumper from the free throw line, looking for Granger down low, instead takes the jumper, and that one's will fall for him. 25-19 now. Lynx trying to get things going offensively as they find Latham Jr. Over to Johnson in the left side corner. He drives in, fakes the mid-range jumper. Now back to Bogan at the top of the key. Bogan will take the mid-range jumper after a screen from Nesbitt. He cannot hit, and it's rebounded by the Vikings yet again. Here comes Watson. He picks up his dribble at the free throw line, finds Plummer, and he'll back it out on the right wing and set up this Viking offense. Now to Collins III, to Ranger. Ranger standing at the free throw line. Hands it off to Watson. Watson now, no look, down low to Collins III. Turn around, right-hand hook, no. Offensive rebound, no, by Ranger. He's trying to throw it off of Nesbitt, but somehow kicks the opposite direction and finds Johnson. Bogan now in transition, and no-look pass to the corner for Tyler. Wasn't really thrown hard enough, is now Tyler to Johnson. Johnson, catch and shoot from downtown. You know it's money every time, and Johnson gives a little look to the Viking bench. Gotta love the spark that he is showing here in this one. He's got 8. Watson now over to Collins, back to Watson. He's on the right wing this time as he feeds Ranger down low. Turnaround hook is no good, but we're going to have a foul going against Roy Nesbitt, as Coach Lepp and Coach McGee not happy on this one. And I could not see, both of them were standing in the way, but they do call the foul, as that will send Ranger to the line for 2 opportunities. First one falls for a Ranger. And again, I wouldn't say much about the devastation of the tornadoes, but I would have to say one student here at Missouri Valley wearing a Morrisonville pullover, and that's where my sister lives, so just kind of want to give a quick shout out to hopefully Morrisonville, Palmer, Taylorville, all those surrounding areas that were affected by the tornado. Hopefully they are okay and they can get that going up and running again sometime soon. I know they didn't have any school today, but hopefully everybody is okay, and our thoughts and prayers from the Lincoln College men's team go out to them. So here we go now. 27-22, 5 minutes left to play in this first half. The Lynx trail, but have the basketball, as it's now Tyler, Johnson, Powell, Latham Jr., and Turner out on the floor as they find Turner. Turner drives to the baseline and count the basket and the foul as he pump faked and got McKenzie to leave his feet. And then he goes straight through him and right through contact, and they will give the foul to McKenzie, so that'll pick up his first, team 7th. So that puts the Lynx in the bonus here, as Turner going to go to the line for an and-one opportunity. And he cannot hit a free throw either. So this Lynx team, it must be something either on the rim or from the line or what. They're not even in the student section either. We still haven't had the worst part of it yet. Gonna have to figure out those free throws. This could be a much different ball game if had the Lynx been able to make some of their free throws. 27-24 now, 4.5 to play, as Cody Jackson drove in left side lane, kicks it out to Plummer, who takes a three. No offensive rebound to McKenzie. He can't hit. Turner corrals the board. Outlet now to Tyler, who's all alone, and he'll just lay it up and in for an easy two, as I'm still waiting for that Trayvon Tyler slam jam, but instead we'll take the easy two, especially when the Lynx need all the offense they can get. 27-26 now. Lynx trail by 1 as McKenzie almost lost it in a backcourt violation. He saves it, though. And now we have, I believe, a stop. I think the shot clock was reset because they have 27 on it. Now they're at the scores table deciding this and kind of consulting with each other here. I believe they're going to go to the monitor. So we're actually going to have ironically enough, we're going to have instant replay. It's not an instant replay, but we're going to have a replay review from the officials here just to see, not to look to see if anything was a foul or anything like that, just to see where the shot clock should be. Interesting, especially with Lincoln moving to 4 years, our radio, TV, and new media department. We now have LCTV, who is having instant replay, and we're test running with all that kinds of stuff. And we have, before have I seen officials go to the scores table to look over, but it's not for a call on a foul or anything like that. They're just seeing how many seconds they need to put back or take off on this shot clock. It should be, I believe, Missouri Valley basketball. We'll see how long it goes. We're still looking at the replay, but back to the replay here for Lincoln College is something that we can do as well. Now that not even that we're AI, it's just a new program that we have started at the college that I'm enrolled in. That, it's a degree program where you're able to, come out and basically, if you want to be a news reporter, you can be a news reporter. If you want to be a sports play-by-play broadcaster on TV, you're more than welcome to. There's so many options that we have in Bud Brills, and someone do a great job running that over there. Again, we've had a lot of issues, and we've had a ton of help. So thank you to everybody who's been as well. And as we still looking for what the officials want to do here, it's kind of a free timeout for both squads here in this one. As kind of looks like we're still having some issues. So we'll have to see. But again, no, this is a Lynx team that is trailing by 1, who possibly could have had maybe a 3 or lead right now if we could hit some free throws down the stretch. And so they do agree as the monitor sitting right to my left, that's how I know all this was going on. As the replay monitor's 4 feet from me, they do say put 17 seconds on the shot clock, so it's a good review and took some time, but you always want the officials to get the call right, and I think they did right there, and they weren't sure, so they went and looked at it for themselves. And that's all you can ask for out of the guys in white and black stripes. As now 27-26, here come the Vikings out of this little timeout that they had. No look by Cody Jackson. That one's tipped out of bounds. And we're going to have a shot clock violation there as the ball was moving around. It was tipped out of bounds. The shot clock went off as it was tipped by Latham Jr., and they do say shot clock violation. The Vikings were not happy about that, but they put 17 seconds on the shot clock, and then it was a quick 17. However, though, 3.5 to play, 27-26. Here come the Lynx trying to take the lead with a basket right here. Turner with it, out to Tyler. Tyler trying to feed Powell down low, but doing a good job there are the Vikings with keeping him close. As now Johnson trying to drive into the rack. A little give and go with Powell, but there's going to be a foul beforehand. So that should send L.J. Johnson to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity, and it does. As Larry Plummer picks up his first. As now Watson will come back in. He got Alonzo Williams. And a 1-and-1 opportunity here for L.J. Johnson, who's at the line. Drops the first one right there. L.J. Johnson, a for sure threat from the free throw line, along from basically anywhere. Missed a pair earlier. Got this one to go right. Had more coming. Drops the second one in as well, as he's 2 for 2 from the line, and the Lynx retake the lead by 1. 28-27 now with 3 minutes left to play in this first half. Watson gets screened by Collins, trying to drive in, takes a step back. Bounce passes one down low to Ranger. Now to Cody Jackson, who was guarded closely by Latham. Now to Watson on the right wing. Watson to the left corner and Plummer across the court. Plummer now trying to drive in, across the court pass to Watson, who steps on the baseline as the pass was a little high by Plummer. And the Lynx bench was watching right there, and they all stood up and started cheering on that one. These guys are fired up now. And it was a long bus ride. However, though, they came down last night, so they should be well rested. As Turner now with it at the top of the key. Picks up his dribble, trying to find Tyler. He does. Back to Turner at the top of the key. To the right wing now, and Johnson. Johnson feeds Powell down low, who's working on Brazil. Brazil, no look pass to Latham Jr. in the left corner for 3. No, off the front of the rim. Tipped back out by Tyler and into the hands of Cody Jackson for the Vikings. He's stopped immediately by Latham Jr. And passed down low to Brazil. He cannot finish. That ball's tipped out of bounds. It's still out of bounds, and we're going to stay right here as Powell, Tyler, Johnson, Brazil were all fighting for it, and they do say it was last touched by the Lynx. Now they are going to say they're going to give them a fresh 30 because no position or change possessions. What they're going to say. So it will be Viking basketball underneath their own basket, set to throw it in. Cody Jackson now with it. Moves to Trayvon Tyler. To Collins Jr. Now to Watson. Watson to Plummer. Plummer to the right wing now in Collins Jr. No look from Watson. Down low to Collins. Give and go, and he knocks the floater home. 29-28 now as we're under 2 minutes to play. Turner trying to drive in left side lane. Puts up a shot. No call was there as he misses rather badly underneath the basket. Here come the Vikings now back down the other way. They lead it by 1, 29-28, as Watson bounce passes one down low to Collins Jr. The third, I'm sorry. Now back to Watson, down low to Plummer. Plummer right side lane, no. Put back by Brazil, no. Collins the third pulls down the board, and it's a fresh 30 here for the Vikings. Back out, Cody Jackson now. Bounce pass left in Collins to Plummer. Plummer catch and shoot, and it's money as Larry Plummer knocks down the 3 right there. 32-28 with just over a minute left to play in the first half. Lynx and Trayvon Tyler to Johnson. Johnson trying to answer from the left wing. No, too strong. Powell pulls down the board and is fouled as he pulled that one down as Brazil got a piece of it. Powell, though, working quickly. He already basically caught it and tried to feed Turner down low, but was hacked hard. So he's going to go to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. Even the officials didn't know if it was a 1-and-1 at first. Well, they got it all straightened away now. Powell at the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. As he sinks his first one right there. Has one more coming. Exactly a minute to play, 32-29. When he's trying to get within 2. And they do as Powell knocks that one down right there. And Tyler took the inbounds pass away from Coach as they throw it into Watson. And we're going to have an offensive foul. I'm sorry, we're actually going to have a foul on Latham or Powell. And they are going to put it on Latham. So it looked like an offensive foul. He drove right in, but instead they say that Latham Jr. got a piece of his arm. So it's going to put Watson at the line for 2 opportunities. Misses his first, so it ends up being a good foul for the Lynx as Watson has one more. Turner, Powell, Latham Jr., Johnson, and Tyler as they get an offensive rebound out to Plummer. Plummer from downtown in the same spot, throws up the arrow as he drills it right there, 35-30. Now as Johnson with 45 seconds left to go. Lynx could go 2 for 1 right here if they so choose. Johnson kicks it back out to Tyler. Tyler hits a screen, drives in right side lane, passes out to Latham Jr. in the corner, who takes the mid-range jumper and knocks it down. As he was wide open in the corner, took a few steps to his left and knocks down the mid-range jumper. 35-32 as it's 23 seconds left. The shot clock and game clock are identical here in this one, so the Vikings set to hold it for the final shot here in this one. The Lynx going to set up their defense as we're at 10 seconds to play. Watson holding it at midcourt, guarded by Latham Jr. He loses the poke of it. 5 seconds to go. Gonna have to pull up from downtown. Latham Jr. didn't do anything. It still misses off the front of the rim. Out to Johnson. Johnson throws down a prayer. Nowhere close either way. Don't even think he got it off in time anyway. But that's going to do it here at the end of the first half. Your Lynx trail to Missouri Valley, 35-32 here at halftime. It was a good first half. The Lynx, and they struggled offensively. They stuck this ball in a run before the Lynx even found the scoreboard, and then ended up being 17-7. And it seemed like it was all Missouri Valley, but then the Lynx kind of... had a little issue there going on. Lynx kind of chipping with some of the fans, trying to get them to the locker room here real quick. But again, though, it was 17-7, and it was all Missouri Valley. But then the Lynx kind of woke up a little bit and made it a ball game. Came back on a run of their own, got it to within 2, made it 21-19. Then Missouri Valley kind of woke up from there. We end at 35-32 as didn't look too happy going into the locker room, especially with some words being exchanged with the fans as well. So that usually we're the opposite, the ones doing that to the opposite teams. Today it's happening to us. So hopefully we will see if the Lynx can respond out of that as well. So don't worry, more college basketball coming your way in about 10 minutes or so. They trail by 3 to Missouri Valley, 35-32 right here on Lincoln College basketball.
I'm little teapot, short and stout.
Here is my handle and here is my spout.
No, Dad, like this. When I get all steamed up, then I shout, tip me over and pour me out.
This is WWE superstar Roman Reigns. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
This is the 89X Halftime Show. My name is Daniel Sala. I'm here with the director of LCTV here on campus, Mr. Bud Broyles. How you doing, Bud?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
That's good. So this is your first semester on campus, right?
Yes, it is. Uh-huh.
And what brought you here?
Well, it was an interesting event. I have Parkinson's disease, and through Parkinson's, I was pretty much in trouble. I couldn't feed myself. I was using a walker. I couldn't remember anything. I was tripping and falling everywhere. I was shaking so bad I couldn't move. And then my Parkinson's doctor actually changed my meds and my frequency of meds, and within 2 weeks I started doing better. Then I got a call from John Malone here at the college asking if I'd be interested in coming out of retirement and just helping with the TV side. And I've been doing this for, 35, 40 years, and I said, absolutely, I'd love to. And it's worked out well. I've enjoyed everything. I try to take what I can remember in my experiences and try to give it to the students here.
Right, and what kind of experiences, what kind of work have you done?
Actually, when I was young, in high school, I took an EMT class at Illinois Central College. I got my EMT. I went to work for the city ambulance company, and my father was too. So between the two of us, we ran calls for a couple years and for the city of Peoria, and then we turned around and started our own ambulance company. And after about 10 years of that, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, burnout sets in. And I went into television news, just shooting accidents, fires, things like that. And one day, a news anchor, Peter Jennings, came to town. And Peter has passed away now from cancer. And he asked me if I'd like to do some network. And I said, absolutely. And so I quit the TV station and went on. And then it seemed like every producer or director from that point on gave your name to somebody else. Yeah. And that's where I wound up doing things like I shoot cops on Fox Network.
But that was a blast.
Oh, yeah. We shot a couple weeks ago in Chicago.
How was that?
Oh, my God. It was interesting because I think we had 14 fatalities and shootings on
just
Friday. Just Friday and
just
Saturday.
Friday, man.
And that was at nighttime, not during the day.
Wow.
And I've shot for NASCAR. I've shot for most of everybody but Trump. I've shot presidential interviews.
Wow.
I was on the stage with Reba McEntire and Garth Brooks. Whatever they did, I shot tight hand shots of players and things like that.
I'm sitting here with Bud Broyles on the 89X halftime report, and Bud, so that's awesome that you are still going out doing some freelance work.
Yeah, I am backing off of that because the college time is really adding up here, and
right.
I need time to just sit down and relax between big shoots.
So are you enjoying your time here?
Oh, absolutely.
I know we love having you here for sure.
We've got the best students there is in this class, and I am so proud of them, and I'll help them any way I can.
You're doing a really good job because I'm in the TV program too, and I just enjoy learning from you as much as I can every day I'm around you. It's a real blast. So.
Yeah, I try to bring what I have learned in the last 35, 40 years to the table and show you guys, because when you graduate out of this class, you're going to go out in the real world with real cameras, real tripods. I want you to be ready for that. You can walk in any TV station or documentary house and say, I did this, this, and this, and have a good resume. I don't want you to walk in and say, what do I need to get taught?
All right. Well, you're doing an amazing job, and I'd rather not have any other teacher. You're doing an amazing job, and we appreciate everything you do here.
Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you for joining me. And my name is Daniel Sala, and you're listening to the 89X Halftime Show.
Is my kid in the right car seat? I guess she is.
There are probably rules on when to move up to a booster seat, aren't there?
Rear-facing, forward-facing. I think I have it right.
Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Are your children in the right car seat for their age and size? Don't think you know. Know you know. Go to safercar.gov/the right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm more resourceful than I thought.
My suit can still make an impression.
My video games are still game changers.
And my lamp can bring others a bright future.
Because when I donate my stuff to Goodwill,
it helps fund job placement and training for people right in my community.
Now my stuff gets a second chance.
And will give someone in my community
a second chance too.
Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. That's goodwill.org. This message brought to you by Goodwill and the Ad Council.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Every hiring manager knows that a company is only as good as the people it's made from. So where do you find the best people? That may surprise you.
Meet the grads of life. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
This is talent worth knowing about.
Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
This is you over 30 years ago.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
And this is your mom now.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Roles change without us noticing. That's why AARP gives you the information to provide even better care for your loved one. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
It's the pledge American students recite every morning. Now, this pledge means something greater, especially for the young men of this country. By law, men have a civic duty to register with Selective Service when they turn 18. So if you're a young man, do your part to keep America strong. Register with Selective Service. Register online at www.sss.gov or pick up a Selective Service registration card at the post office.
Our military service members volunteer to protect us in the most dangerous places around the world. They step up. And when they are severely ill or injured, returning to their families is only the beginning of their long road home. Wounded Warrior Project provides these brave men and women whatever they need to continue their fight for independence at no cost for life. So now it's time for a grateful nation to step up. Join us at findwwp.org.
They'll challenge your authority because that's what kids do. But this car is your territory. And in here, your word is law. So when you say you won't move until everyone's buckled up, you won't budge an inch until you hear that click. Never give up until they buckle up. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council. For more information, visit safercar.gov/kidsbuckleup.
Man, do I love card night. You ready, boys? You got a king?
Go, fish dad.
Oh, come on. This is WWE superstar Titus O'Neil. It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
We're back here in Marshall, Missouri, where we have a good one in store for you as your Lincoln College Lynx taking on Missouri Valley as we're at halftime 35-32 here in this one. As at the beginning of this first half, it was all Missouri Valley. They led by as many as 10 at one point, actually by as many as 13 early in this ball game, but the Lynx have got it all the way back down to 3, and they ended up leading at one point by 1 late in this first half. So they are definitely capable of bringing this one back and having full extension to close this one out, as they should have the confidence of already beating them once so far. But in taking a look at some of the stats here for the Lynx, leading the way is L.J. Johnson. He's got 14 for us on the night so far. really kind of been the only spark of offense for this Lynx team, not particularly shooting the ball well, especially from the free throw line. Just 42% from the free throw line, only 6 of 14, and that, my friend, has been the lowest it's been all season long for this Lynx team. We've seen 50, we've seen 52, but 42% is not 42.9. You could round it up to 43, but however, I'm sure Coach Leb would not take that. 11 for 26, though, the Lynx were in the first half, shot 42% from the field, while holding Missouri Valley to 46% from the field, 14 of 30. So both teams basically identical here in this one. The Lynx doing a little bit better of job on the behind the arc, as they're shooting 4 for 12, 33% from behind the arc, along with, for Missouri Valley, they're only 2 of 10, shooting 20% from the field. So I look for them to kind of have a much better second half, and look for the Lynx defense to improve as well here over time. However, though, one thing the Lynx are doing pretty well, though, is getting points off the turnovers, as they have 10 points off turnovers. Also, along with the fast break opportunities, the Lynx only have 4 fast break points. They've been getting back on defense for this Missouri Valley team, who has no fast break points. However, though, the Lynx bench only has 9 points on that. And that's coming, 4 of them are coming from J.J. Turner, along with Freeman's got 2. Bogan has 2 as well. And Tyrone Wright's got 1. And those are the 9 coming off the bench for this Lynx squad. So look for them to have a much better second half here in this one. Again, second chance points, though, it's going the way of Missouri Valley. They have 10 second chance points, so the Lynx going to have to do a little bit better on the glass side of things. They definitely got out-rebounded in that first half by a total of 9. Lynx only had 12 rebounds, as Missouri Valley had a total of 23. So the Lynx are going to have to do a better job of getting and crashing the glass here in this one if they want to continue to stay in the ball game here with Missouri Valley, because we know that they're going to shoot the ball particularly well. The only question is can the Lynx get some stops? And we're going to have to see here in this one. And leading the way, though, for Missouri Valley is Larry Plummer, who's got 11 for them on the night. He's hit 2 threes so far. He's 4 for 8 from the field. And same thing, L.J. Johnson, he's 4 of 6 from the field. 3 for 5 from behind the arc. And I'm pretty sure I just spilled my Gatorade all over my pant leg, but that's okay. We're not here for that anyway. But this is a Lynx team that is a much better second half team. I'd look for them to kind of come out swinging here, especially what occurred right before halftime. And nothing happened. Just a couple words were exchanged. And Lynx hopefully can get fired up over that, as they should not have been pleased with the way they played going into half. Hopefully they have another half to kind of set the tone here in this one, and the Lynx kind of came back themselves down by 3, as I believe it's the same group for J.J. Turner. Getting start here over Latham, as L.J. Johnson going straight to the rack, drive baseline, and doesn't get a basket, but does draw the foul, as he's going to go to the line for 2 opportunities. Actually, Montez Crumble is who he replaces in the starting lineup here to start the second half. Again, J.J. Turner, we've seen him in the starting lineup for Coach Leb's group, and then and the foul went on Jacoby Karan, his second, team's first, as Johnson right there. Karan going to run the point here for the Vikings, as he's guarded very closely by Tyler. To Plummer now on the right wing. Down low to Ranger. To McKenzie. McKenzie back to Turner. Turner now, who's guarding Ranger, who gives it to Plummer. Plummer drives baseline, tries to throw up a shot off the glass, and we're going to have a foul going against the Lynx in Julian Powell here in this one, who did pull down the board. So that's going to send Plummer to the line for 2 shots. A very, very late whistle in this one, but Powell's going to pick up his second here early in this first half, or second half. Plummer knocks down the first pair, knocks down the first free throw right there. 36-34 now. With more winning. Second one in for Plummer as well, so he knocks down a pair, and the lead is back up to 3. Tyler and Johnson now back to Turner at the top of the key. Turner looking left to Tyler. Tyler catch and shoot from the wing. Nope. Turner right back to offensive rebound for the Lynx. Latham now with it. Junior going to set up the offense with the stretch 3. He's going to pull at the top of the key. No, but Powell pulls down the offensive rebound. Johnson. Johnson with it on the wing. Powell drives baseline now. And look back later. Tyler back to Johnson at the top of the key. He's driving, puts up a floater, and yes, good ball movement there by Johnson and this Lynx squad has lifted everybody with 2 offensive rebounds in the mix as well. The Lynx doing the dirty work on the glass. Comes the Vikings now. McKenzie over to Williams. Williams bounce passes one down low to Ranger. Ranger working right side, lanes around right and hook. Fader no good as Powell pulls down the board for the Lynx. Here comes Tyler now in transition as he stops. Drives to the lane, right side, and draws contact in the act of shooting. So he will go to the line for 2 shots. And that one's going to go on Gabe McKenzie, his second. Team second here in the half as well. As the Lynx trail by 1. Turner looking to change that at the strike. And he knocked down his first right there. Here comes Collins the third in for McKenzie. And we are tied at 37. Make it still tied at 37. And we're going to have an over and back once again now. So he's going to pick up his third real quick right here in this one. And that's the team's second as well. I'm sure Powell's going to have to take a seat here real soon as Tyrone Wright immediately sprinted to the scores table but didn't get there in time. Good hand turn out back. Johnson, who's on the floor. Johnson now with Tyler on right wing. 18 minutes left to play in this ball game. We're tied at 37. Latham now gets a screen from Turner. Latham trying to drive in left side lane, kicks it out to Tyler. Tyler catch and shoot from beyond the arc. Yes. Tyler, who thought he missed it, is trying to go for his own rebound, ends up burying it. And it's now 40-37, and Chad Lance wants to talk things over. Is Trayvon Tyler already fired up here in the second half? Look for him and LJ Johnson to have a big second half here in this one. Again, Tyrone Wright checked in for Julian Powell. We'll see him out of the timeout. But again, however, though, with this timeout being said, the Lynx take the lead here for the first time in this second half, 40-37. This is a Lynx team that kind of, just by looking at them right here real close, sitting right next to this Lynx bench, just by looking at them, they just seem like they have a determined factor in their eye, as they're all kind of ecstatic about it over here. Even Roy Nesbitt as well, getting in a piece of the action. We saw him a time or two. I had to, throw a shout out to him in there since he's staring right at me in this. But again, this is a Lynx team that is coming back. They love to play from behind, and the second half is usually theirs. We'll see in the next 17 and a half minutes if it will be. They lead the way 40-37 as of right now. Karan and this Viking team looking for something offensively as he's on the left wing. He's picked up by Latham Jr. Now to Williams. Williams trying to drive into the rack as he can't hit, gets his own miss though, puts it back up and in. Tyrone Wright was kind of boxed out there by Ranger, because otherwise he couldn't corral it. 40-39. Now here come the Lynx back the other way. And this one's going to get interesting because you got the fans involved due to some of the extent of what the Lynx could do at halftime. And I don't think any of them started, as Johnson from downtown, no. Offensive rebound, no, goes to Tyrone Wright. Out to Tyler. Tyler from downtown this time. And he knocks down one and gives a little look to the crowd. And I got word that Trayvon Tyler was talking to one of the football players that's sitting on the bench over there. Have been about the whole first half, and then at halftime something got said. It almost looked like they were about to fight, but it wasn't any of the Lynx players' fault, as Karan and Plummer not on the same page now, as that one throws it out of bounds, and it's going back the other way. Here comes Watson and Cody Jackson back into the ball game for the Vikings, as Karan and Alonzo Williams will take a seat. Again, but Trayvon Tyler, though, not somebody you want to start chirping with, as we all know that Tyler has had his struggles so far this season. But once you get him started with the chirping, his game is just turned up and on a different level when it comes to that, as he by far one of the best players I've ever seen do it. Here comes the Lynx now back the other way. They lead it 43-39 as Johnson has that one poked away by Plummer. Johnson going to stop the fast break and take Plummer to Watson. Swinging it around the perimeter to Cody Jackson now on the right wing. It's a screen from Collins back over to Watson. To the left corner now for Watson. Down low to Ranger, who's working on the left side of the lane. Has that one poked away in the hands of Latham Jr. A one-on-one fast break opportunity as that one's poked away. Somehow into the hands of Tyler, who was standing on the left wing. Now to Turner, who faked the three from the top of the key, to Johnson now on the right wing. Johnson now going to back it up and set up this offense here for the Lynx. They lead at 43-39 with 16 minutes left to play. Turner looking for Johnson. They do. Gets it to him down low in the lane. No look pass across the court to Tyler. Tyler in the corner for three. No. Set his feet and everything, but Turner and Collins with an offensive rebound as they have a jump ball situation. And Collins pulls it down and gives the crowd a little look here in this one, as it does go in the favor of the Vikings. And again, Bobby Trey Collins III acting pretty tough here in this one, flexing his muscles, but nothing to be scared of here in this one. As Cody Jackson now trying to drive in to Moore. Back to Collins. Look for Collins to watch out, and he knocks it down right there. And he gives a little look to the Lynx bench as he's starting to get excited here in this one, as now L.J. Johnson going coast to coast has a foul on the floor, as Cody Jackson giving the official a little stare. He doesn't like the call. Again, both teams, I'd have to say right here, starting to get a little chippy and chirpy with each other after it really kind of started with at the end of the first half, with the Lynx going into halftime, getting set up. They will have the basketball underneath their own basket. The Lynx will. They throw it into Tyler. Tyler catch and shoot from the corner. No. Offensive rebound goes to Turner. It's tipped out of bounds. Last touched by the Vikings, so it'll stay with the Lynx with another fresh 30. Again, both teams playing very physical here in this one. You can see that the adrenaline is going in not only from the players but by both coaches as well. This is a 2-point game. This game's been close basically all throughout since the start of the ball game. As Tyler now trying to drive in left side lane, kicks it back to Tyrone Wright. He hands one off to Tyler. Tyler, no look pass to Latham Jr. in the corner. A little catch and shoot from the three, and he'll bury one. So Latham Jr. knocks down a three right there, and all of a sudden now Coach Lepton going to take a full timeout right here in this one. He wants to talk things over. 46-41, Lynx lead here in this one. We'll go back, since we have some time, about this what's going on the floor. But kind of like what's going on at the end of the first half, the Lynx said something to some of the people in the stands. I believe I got word it was one of the Missouri Valley football players that was kind of chirping back and forth. And you know this Lynx team doesn't back down from anybody, whether it's on the floor or off the floor. Not a good look, but they didn't start it. Nothing happened, and you could tell that kind of got underneath their skin a little bit. They came out of halftime with kind of a little fire in their eye, a little edge, and it all kind of started with Trayvon Tyler and L.J. Johnson hitting a couple of them threes and giving a couple looks to the crowd and kind of getting things started, and then didn't really appreciate it too well, does Missouri Valley. So they're trying to play with a little intensity here and trying to keep this game close. And Trey Collins III came back out and had a tie-up with J.J. Turner, who ended up winning the tie-up, was Collins. Kind of got his adrenaline going a little bit and got his excitement, and he kind of gave a death stare to the crowd of where that football player was sitting to get this crowd fired up. So then it was a made basket by the Lynx, and then Coach Lepp calls a timeout. So we'll see coming out of this timeout, Missouri Valley with the basketball is Moore. Turnaround right-hand hook, got it to go. Looked like he traveled, but instead no call. And it's 46-43 now. 14:45 to play. Lynx lead by 3. And look for this game to be awfully physical from here on out, as now J.J. Turner called for an illegal screen here in this one. It was a late call, as Turner was trying to say that I already moved, as the little plug in the floor keeps coming undone. So it looks like we got that fixed and taken care of right now. So Turner picks up his first here in the ball game, in team's third, as it will be Missouri Valley basketball. They trail by 3, 46-43 to your Lincoln Lynx. Cody Jackson with it at the top of the key. Lynx in a 2-3 zone. Finds Watson in the corner, right side corner. That ball's poked loose on the floor. Watson picks it right back up, and now we have a foul going against Trayvon Tyler with the reach-in call right there. That's going to be his second. Team's fourth here in this one. Here comes Montez Crumble into the ball game. He'll get L.J. Johnson. Here comes Schulzenhauer in as well for the Vikings. He'll get Watson. So on the floor for the Lynx, Crumble, Turner, Latham Jr., Wright, and Tyler. So they throw it into Schulzenhauer, who just checked in. He's guarded by very closely by Crumble. Out to Cody Jackson now at the top of the key. Lynx back into a man-to-man. Cody Jackson now with it with 11 seconds. Takes a mid-range jumper. No. Tyler pulls down a huge board for the Lynx. Looks to outlet in transition. Sees nobody, and he'll bring it up the floor himself. Tyler with it on the left wing. Looking to feed the big man down low. Could not. Finds Turner at the top of the key. Over to Latham Jr., who about threw that one away. Down low to Wright. Wright working. Turner lays it up, but it's denied, though, by Moore. He gets the rebound, and here come the Vikings in transition. Cody Jackson now with it. No look to Schulzenhauer. Schulzenhauer in the corner for 3. No. Long rebound. Tip. The ball's loose on the floor into the hands of Plummer. Plummer makes one man miss, makes another man miss, and now we have a traveling violation, as he, again, pump faked once, pump faked the second time, and then the second time his foot came up just a bit, says the official. And again, Chad Lance not happy with that one, as Chad Lance has to be careful. There was 3 technical fouls called in the ball game over in Lincoln, all of them coming against Missouri Valley, and Chad Lance did have one of them. Actually, I believe he had the first one, as Tyler feeds Latham. Latham catch, drives baseline, and finishes with the up and under move right there. 48-43 now in favor of your Lynx, as they lead it by 5. 13 minutes left to play. Schulzenhauer bounce pass, one down low to Moore. Moore, good move right around Powell and Turner, and he lays it up and in. So both teams trading baskets left and right. Again, this is going to come down to the wire. I believe probably the final possession. Go run here, as Latham Jr. now kicks it to Powell at the top of the key. Lynx trying to answer. Powell picks up his dribble, trying to find Tyler. Cody Jackson doing a good job. He does find him. Now Tyler trying to drive in. Left side lane, puts one up off the glass. Can get that one to go. Collins Jr. pulls down the board for the Vikings, and here they go in transition. No-look pass from Cody Jackson to trying to feed Plummer in the left corner, but it was tipped out of bounds, as, again, those no-look passes are great, but if they don't fool the defense, it's not going to work out, as Latham Jr. got a hand in there to knock it away. And they didn't get the sub in time, as Bogan went to the scores table for the Lynx. Not going to be able to check in just yet. Schulzenhauer now with it, back to Cody Jackson. Jackson working on Latham Jr. as he's on the left wing. Gets a screen from Moore. Cody Jackson now to Collins the third, and he's going to be called for a traveling violation right there as he slips on the floor. And I'd look for, as L.A. Bogan comes back in, Turner checks out. And the Lynx lead 48-45 here with 12 and a half minutes to play. Lynx looking for a basket right here. Julian Powell looks like he's got a mean look on his face. I'd look for him to get the basketball here. Bogan with it now, who just checked in for the Lynx, hands it off to Latham Jr. Trying to give it back to Bogan now, as Latham has it on the left corner. Feeds Powell down low. 9 seconds on the shot clock. Turnaround right-hand hook back to Latham Jr. Jr. from the corner. Yes! Latham Jr. knocks down a 3. He's been awfully quiet here today, but look for him to start heating up here in the later minutes. Here come the Vikings now back the other way. Schultenauer bounce passes one to Collins. Jr. down low, kicks it out to the corner now for Cody Jackson. To the top of the key and Moore. Moore hands it to Watson. Watson bounce pass down low to Moore. He has it poked away by Crumble. Ball's loose on the floor and Crumble falls on it. Into the hands of the Lynx as he finds Tyler to bring it up the floor. 51-45, 11.5 play. Tyler going to pull it from the parking lot. No good. Air ball as Watson now outlet to Cody Jackson. And that got the crowd going here because you know Trayvon Tyler is in everybody's head besides his own, as now Collins Jr. trapped to Watson. Watson turn around right hand hook and hit one, gets it to go. Let wanted to travel. Instead didn't get it, as now the crowd explodes here in this one as Montez Crumble and Trayvon Tyler now, as the bench is clear here in this one. We're going to have an issue as I don't know who it is. Ranger Cody Jackson is in there. Trayvon Tyler, L.A. Bogan, Montez Crumble, all in the mix right here. A little pushing and shoving. Trey Collins in the mix. It'll be interesting to see. This is a chippy game in this one, as it'll be interesting to see now. They already went to the monitor once. We'll see if they go to the monitor again to see who left the bench, as that really got everybody fired up here in this one. Now Chad Lance arguing with the officials here in this, and didn't really do much. We're going to have to see. They are going to go to take a look at this yet again. This could be interesting for the Lynx, as we had quite a few leave the bench here in this one. This could get interesting for this Lynx team. It'll happen more near towards the Vikings bench, but the benches have been cleared. And the officials right now talking this over. They have not gone to the monitor yet here in this one. And this is going to get interesting here, ladies and gentlemen, as, like I said, a fight almost happened as we went to halftime between the Lynx and some fans. Now, with Trayvon Tyler after that air ball by the three, he kind of got the crowd wild up, I guess, a little bit. Got him going a little bit. And then all of a sudden, after the timeout was called, we had some pushing and shoving, and we're going to see at the end of this who is actually going to get to the bottom of this here. They are going to the monitor in this one. But you can see now just kind of hearing from the Lynx bench in a little bit. They want to win this game just as bad as anybody else does now, because they're kind of fed up of what's going on here in Marshall, Missouri, where this Lynx team, as now the officials on the board, they're going to go back and take a look at this to see possibly maybe who left the bench with what. And again, for those of you that don't know, if you leave the bench and you're not playing, you are automatically ejected from the ball game. So this could be a huge blow for the Lynx if they figure out who came off the bench at any given time. I know there was a few of them that try to go help your teammates. That's one of those calls in certain situations where it's like you want to help your team. You want to help your team and defend your teammates, but at the same time, the only thing you do is actually make it worse by coming on. We're going to see who it is right here, and they have it turned. The officials are on the phone with the guys upstairs. It kind of feels like a real game here, and just looking at a monitor, interesting choice of call here in this one. Right now, here the cheerleaders get this out, continue to going. We're going to see now somebody just ran over the stat sheet. That's something. We're still waiting for the officials right here in this one. Again, though, this is a Lynx team that is on the ropes, 6-6 on the year, has not played up to expectations in this ball game, and a few of the others as well. I mean, we've had 4 losses come in overtime and by 1. This is a very frustrated Lynx team. We've been on the road for 6 straight road games, and then had 1 home game, and then back on the road, or 2 home games, and then back on the road yet again. So this is a team doesn't know anything but the road pretty much, and we're sitting here waiting, and you saw now the frustrated we were, and it came out. And it's going to be an interesting choice here, because since it was near the Vikings bench, it'll be interesting to see how many players actually came off of their bench, since knowing that it was closer towards them as the Lynx had to go basically the full floor, length of the floor in that one. And I didn't quite see who came, all of it that came off the bench for either team, but it was basically a full-on. I don't think there was any punches thrown, but there was some pushing and shoving and definitely some words being in each other's faces here. And this one, as now we have, and cheerleaders still doing their thing back there, trying to figure it out. Now the officials still trying to write down all the names on who left the area. This is going to be a big call. I'm actually going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. We'll get more of this when we come back. Again, most of these guys, we're still waiting here. We're going to be about another 5 minutes or so before we get this all figured out. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back in a couple minutes. So don't go anywhere, though. But your Lynx leading the way here, 51-47 over Missouri Valley. We'll have what happens next right here on 89X. Don't go anywhere.
What are all the things you witness online in a day? Cats playing piano, selfies on your feed, your friend's picture being turned into a nasty meme that's been shared 50 times, 51, 52. When someone's being bullied online, it's hard to know what to do. Now you can speak up with the witness emoji. It looks like an eye in a speech bubble, and it's in the symbol section near the clocks in your phone. You'll let the world know it isn't cool, and you'll let your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
It only takes a minute to find out if you may have prediabetes, and you can do it at doihaveprediabetes.org. But you're probably not going to, are you? Kids, work, listening to the radio. You're busy, which is great because busy people can't get prediabetes. Oh my, I read that wrong. They can. Should have worn my glasses. So visit doihaveprediabetes.org and take a short test because prediabetes can be reversed.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its pre-diabetes awareness partners.
All right, listen up, maggots, because I got something to say that you need to hear. It's for every man 18 through 25. You want to live in my United States? Then you've got to register with Selective Service. Fact is, you must register before you can qualify for student loans, most federal jobs, or job training. So go online at sss.gov or go to any post office. Wait a minute, you did it already? Outstanding! You've earned my respect. Hoorah!
For some people, difficult transitions like retirement, divorce, or loss of a loved one may contribute to feelings of hopelessness or even thoughts of suicide. The risk of suicide is even higher for men over 50 who've served our country. Guys like me. Support from friends and family makes such a big difference. Every day, your actions could help save a life. Learn how you can help at veteranscrisisline.net.
So, who's going to do what? Flashlights?
Nowhere to be found.
Emergency supply kits?
Not packed.
What about blankets?
We have an old towel.
Cell phones?
May not work.
Emergency water?
Not a drop.
Perfect. We all know where we're meeting if we're separated.
The library. On Jones House. The bus stop.
And I'll be waiting here wondering where you all are. Great. It sounds like we don't have a plan.
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency. Who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Visit ready.gov/kids for tips and information. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
If you're a single man under the age of 35, you'd probably like to know what the ladies are looking for on an online dating site. A guy who had a few drinks and later got pulled over for buzzed driving. See, that could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. And doesn't a guy who's back living with his parents but calls them my roommates just scream Mr. Right?
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
When I was little, I didn't talk for a long time. I was sensitive to lights and sounds, so I built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. Sometimes I did the same things over and over, until one day I found out I had autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
To buy your home, you became a house hunting ace, learned about loans, scoured neighborhoods, and asked the right questions. Now you're queen of your castle. If you manage that, you can get your retirement plan on track. Visiting aceyourretirement.org can help. With 401k tips and smart saving strategies, you'll feel empowered to own your retirement like you own your home. Go to aceyourretirement.org. Because when it comes to clearing financial hurdles, you're an ace. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Jesus. We're back here in Missouri Valley where I'm getting a look at the replay right now. Well, they just kind of got over it, but again, it was pretty ugly. Again, no punches, I believe, were thrown, and the benches were cleared. However, though, they did not eject anybody for leaving the bench. They did not go back and look that far. So the Lynx have caught a break right there. Now, again, they did call technical fouls on number 32, Tremont Moore, for the Vikings. It was him and Montez Crumble. As Plummer will shoot the technical free throws for that one. So he does get a pair. As he knocks them both down. And again, it will be Lynx basketball after those, because what occurred was between Tremont Moore and Montez Crumble with the pushing and shoving. Both of them were awarded technical fouls, and then Leanthony Bogan was awarded for kind of helping in the aftermath. However, both of them are on the floor right now. However, though, Moore is not. So this is a Lynx team that caught a huge break, as it's now 51-49. Here comes Bogan in the corner for three. No. Julian Powell comes in, crashing board, pulls down a huge rebound. And this is a team that, while we were on break, that the Lynx were chirping. They really want this win really bad now here in this one. I'd look to see the intensity kind of even more in this game. Let the junior on the sideline get that ball. They're going to buy the Vikings, and here they come. Again, Tyler and Crumble, Latham Jr., Powell, and Bogan all on the floor here for the Lynx in this one. Two of them were in that little aftermath. Watson now trying to drive in, puts up a floater over Crumble, and we have a foul going against the Vikings, crashing the offensive board as Tavius Brazil picks up that foul. That's going to be his second, team's fifth here in this one. So 51-49 now. Here come the Lynx back the other way. And what a turn of events this game has been. You can kind of see this one coming here, as we knew both teams were playing really hard. And finally the competitiveness got the better of both squads. Tyler now with it on the right wing to Crumble in the right side corner. Almost had it poked away by Watson. He's now moved to the wing. 7 seconds to go before the shot clock expires. Bogan now with it at the top of the key. And we have an elbow going against the Vikings on number 20. Trey Collins III. So he's going to pick up his first. And team 6, so both teams at 16 fouls here in this one. We're under 10 minutes to play. Lynx lead 51-49. But I'd look for the Vikings not to go anywhere. As Tyler drives in, right side lane, puts it up off the glass and gets it to go through contact. No foul was called, but Trayvon Tyler finishing in transition. Now Plummer and the Vikings coming back down the opposite way. Cody Jackson at the top of the key, swinging it to the left wing now for Plummer. To the top of the key for Watson. A little 2-3 zone action, give and go here all day long as they feed Brazil down low, who is left wide open underneath the basket for three. Good ball movement there by the Vikings as they stay within two. 53-51 now. Here come the Lynx back the other way. Bogan with it on the left wing, trying to feed Powell down low, instead stolen away by the Vikings. Outlet now to Cody Jackson, who lays it up and in for an easy two. Now we're all tied at 53 here with exactly 9 minutes left to play. You knew this one was going to be a pretty big game. Tyler guarded closely by Cody Jackson, who's looking at Coach Leb. Not an interesting choice there. Does get the ball back, however. Him and Bogan playing keep away as they feed Powell down low. Back to Bogan. Bogan from downtown, and you know it. L.A. Bogan buries the three. Again, he had that technical foul. You know right here he did in a big way. Lynx retake the lead by 3. Bounce pass from Cody Jackson down low to Trey Collins III. No. He pulls down the board as Montez Crumble. And here come the Lynx now back the other way. They lead by 3, looking to continue that. Tyler drives in right side lane, takes his step back out to Julian Powell. Powell from downtown banks it home as Julian Powell. The bank is open as he banks it in from the top of the key. As Julian Powell, I believe, hit his first 3 of his Lynx career right there. As now we have an illegal screen going against Tremont Moore, or Brazil, and he's going to pick up his second. As that'll give the ball back to this Lynx squad right here. And now Chad Lance wants to talk things over yet again. Full timeout taken by the Vikings. As again, that is they're saying it's a media timeout. Either way, it's going to be a timeout taken here. We have 8 minutes left to play in this ball game. 59-53 is our score, and it kind of seems like it's going to come down to the wire as it's been all game long. No team has really had an edge here in this one, but if I look over to my right a little bit, this Lynx team, they're very fired up. They're ready to go. And like I said, it all started coming out of halftime where they had that little look in their eye. One interesting move, though, I would like to see coming or so down the stretch is we've had no LaJavius Johnson a lot in the second half. I haven't seen him in a while. I'd love to see him get it back in this ball game as he was a big help in that first half. He did have 14 in that. He had 14 of the 32. I haven't seen much of him here in the second, so hopefully maybe we can possibly kind of see him come down the stretch. Bogan also, 6th man of the year, we call him. He's been hurt. Kind of seeing him back in action here. He came back over the weekend as, again, this is a Lynx team that's getting all fired up and ready to go here in this one. As they will have the basketball. They lead it right here by 6, 59-53. 8 minutes left to play. Lynx have the basketball and the lead. Tyler gets a screen from Powell, goes right around and drives in left side lane, has it poked away though by Cody Jackson. Here come the Vikings, 2-on-1 fast break as that one Williams bounced past one to Watson, but somehow stolen away by Plummer, ends up stealing it away from his own teammate. The Lynx will take it though. However, otherwise that would have been an easy 2 as Watson trying to drive in, kicks it back out to Williams. Williams bounce passes one down low to Moore. Moore turn around right hand hook and gets that one to fall. Actually, it was Brazil who made that. And it's an easy 2, 59-55 now, 7.5 to play. Here comes Tyler running the point for the Lynx. Tyler, Powell, Bogan, Crummel, and Latham Jr. on the floor. Bogan at the top of the key, looking, hands it off to Tyler. Tyler on the right wing now, guarded by Cody Jackson. He drives into the lane, off the glass, the back, and the foul as Trayvon Tyler goes to the rack and draws contact as Cody Jackson knocked him to the ground right there. Jackson doesn't agree, but he is going to pick up his first here in this one. As Tyler at the line for 2 shots, or for an and 1 opportunity. And you had Watson standing down underneath the basket while Coach Lett was talking to his other forward. Trayvon Tyler wanted them to get back before he made this free throw, and he cannot make it. So keep it 61-55 as the Lynx having their issues yet again from the free throw line. Here come now the Vikings back the other way. As they feed it down low to Williams. Turnaround spin move, and he finishes. Now, not much he could do right there. He just got beat on the left side. Here comes Cody Jackson and this Vikings team to play back on defense. Bogan now with it to Tyler on the left wing. Across the court pass to Latham Jr. Catch and shoot from the corner. No. Too strong. Julian Powell pulls down a rebound but has it stolen away by Watson. Watson now has a 1-on-3 fast break as he finds Plummer. And Plummer is going to be denied, though, by Tyler, but they're going to call a foul and bail him out right there as Tyler got a lot of ball on that one. Must have been the body that set him apart from everybody else, but Plummer going to the line for 2 shots. And starting to get pretty testy in here as now we have a parent, some sort of parent in the stand yelling As here comes L.J. Johnson back into the ballgame for Montez Crumble. Interesting choice here. I can't tell if it's a Lynx family member or what, but she's not happy with what's being said across the court from us as L.A. Bogan checks out of the ballgame for J.J. Turner. So everybody's heated in this building today. Not just the players and coaches, but people in the stands as well. Everybody has something to say here tonight. 6.5 minutes to play, 61-59 now as the Lynx lead by 2. Latham Jr. now with it as Plummer knocked down a pair. Johnson, who's back into the ballgame for this Lynx team, passes it to Latham Jr. in the left side corner. Across the court, pass to Tyler. Tyler thought about a 3 instead to Johnson at the top of the key. Now to Latham Jr. in the corner. Bounce passes one to Turner. Turner give and go with Powell, but has it stolen away by Plummer. Here come the Vikings in transition as Plummer throws it too far for Watson. Lance take off the suit jacket over there. He's not happy as the Lynx going to come back the other way off the unforced turnover by the Vikings. And they're playing a 1-2-2 now here against the Lynx, and the Lynx have not been able to capitalize in the last few possessions. Johnson now with it to Tyler. Low look to Latham Jr. in the corner, who made one man miss, drives in, kicks it to Johnson. Johnson now left side, takes a mid-range jumper, no good. That ball's tipped into the air and into Watson yet again. The 2-on-3 fast break. He's going coast to coast, and he lays it right up and in. Here comes Trayvon Tyler now back in it as they were tied at 61 with 5.5 minutes to play. 61 all as L.J. Johnson sit out of, but they're going to foul going against Watson. So that's his third. Team's 9th. So that's going to send Johnson to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. That's here comes the Ranger back. You got to remember, Rangers got 3 fouls, so the Lynx can go right after him here in this one. As Johnson's free throw, no, in and out. Doesn't make either one, or can't make the first, so doesn't get the second. 61 all. Vikings now back down the other way. Williams with it at the top of the key. Hands it off to Watson. Watson now give and go with Cody Jackson. He's trying to drive in. Rangers standing out in the way. He finds Williams in the corner for 3. No. Ball's tipped loose into the hands of Powell. Bounce passes one to Latham. Latham had a wide open fast break. Instead backs it out and sets up the offense for the Lynx. 5 minutes to play. We're still tied at 61. Still a 1-2 here for the Vikings. They come back now down the other way. With on the left wing to Tyler. Tyler back to the top of the key with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Tyler now with it, trying to drive into the lane. He sees one and opening. The floor now is that all. Position arrow, I believe, is in favor. And see which way they pointed. There's not one sitting up. I believe it's going to stay with the Lynx. As LJ, Williams, and Turner were all on the floor fighting for that loose ball. Basketball. 3 seconds on the shot clock. We'll see if they notice. Will be Lynx basketball. 3 seconds left on the shot clock. Here comes the ball game. He got Cody Jackson in for this one. And let him stand underneath his own basket. See who they throw it into. There's to Johnson. Johnson only has 2 sets, takes a step back jumper, and no, too strong. That ball's tipped. Julian Powell going to be called for an over and back right there. And if that is on Powell, that'll be his 4th, I believe. And it will be. So here comes back into the ball game. So come and get Julian Powell. Powell, again, 2 of them were over and back calls here. Is going to have to take a quick seat. Ranger at the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity because that was the team's 8th team foul. As he knocks down the first free throw right there as the Vikings take the lead 62-61 with 4.5 minutes to play. Ranger does have one more free throw coming. As Tyler, Johnson, Turner, Bogan, and Jr. on the floor for Coach Lepp's squad. As he knocks down the second, 63-61. 4.5 to play. Lynx trail by 2. This little 1-2-2 is really kind of hurting the Lynx here so far in the last few possessions, as Johnson now to Latham Jr. And we have a foul going away from the basketball. I believe it's going to go on L.J. Johnson. Can't quite tell who it got called on, as Johnson and Lepp are both in there. They actually still have not put it on the board yet. So it must not have been a foul. It was a 3-second call, says the official. Can't see with all the coaches standing up and the officials in my way. 63-61 after a 3-second call by the Lynx, as now the Lynx fall back into a 2-3 zone. Cody Jackson out with it on the left wing. 4 minutes to play. Collins, the third, out with it. Back to Cody Jackson. To Williams. Over to Plummer. Plummer in the corner for three, and he'll rattle one home. So Plummer all fired up now as they retake the lead by 4. 66-61. Now is by 5. Under 4 minutes to play. The Lynx need right here. As Johnson bounces one of the top in the corner for three. No turn. Allen right back. Throws it off a Ranger, and it's with another shot. Quickly turn around back and spot the bed. That's fine. Now we're at another. And they are going to say the ball hit the rim. They're going to say the ball hit the rim on the shot L.A. Bogan. So they're going to give it a fresh 30 for the Lynx. It was awfully close as Turner tipped it on the opposite side. It was definitely a, a long shot. And now the officials want to kind of get together yet again. They did change it and called it a fresh 30. Now they're going to have a word. And now both teams are going to have a quick little timeout while the officials talk things over here. I thought it did not hit the rim. The officials saying it did. That would reset the game or the shot clock to 30 seconds. If not, it would be about, I think it was at 6 or 7 seconds if they were to overturn this, I guess would be in a way. It's either going to be 6, 7 seconds on the shot clock or fresh 30. And the Lynx are going to inbound underneath their own basket. Now, they have not gone to the monitor yet here in this one, as the head official talking things over with the official score. Well, I don't know where the guy went here in this one. Now we're gonna look at it here in this one, as the kid just kind of left. The kid that was doing the replays was supposed to. Now we're waiting on him yet again. And I believe all we're doing is to look over what should be on the shot clock. And I've never seen a basketball game take this long due to the officials having to talk so many things over. You want them to you want them to do their best and get the calls right here in this one, but at the same time, you want to let the play. Now, I get, we had benches clearing, and that takes a little time to review and look over. I get that. I'm fully aware of that, and as they should take the proper procedures for that as well. But at the same time, now we're having official words with the coaches and stuff. But at the same time, you want them to take their time and get every call right. But sometimes, like this right here, looking for a shot clock, it's just not the answer. You made the call. It's a fresh 30. Let's continue and let's stick by that call. I'm on the road, and I know we're looking at a lot of things over. And trust me, I want this team in this to be fair and kind of come out and anyone have a competitive edge. But I think if we're just looking at whether the shot clock, whether it hit the rim or not, I think we can kind of let that one go and play on. However, though, we are going to look at it, and I believe it's either about 7 seconds or fresh 30, depending on what they call. And right now they're looking at the last play, and that was Bogan taking a three from the corner it was a little long, and it was tipped into the hands of J.J. Turner, and I believe Williams was in the mix as well for the Vikings. It was tipped out of bounds. They say that it was last touched by the Vikings, and they gave the ball to the Lynx. However, though, they said it hit the shot, or it said that the shot hit the rim, which was awfully questionable. They said it. So they put a fresh 30 on the shot clock. Now we are waiting to see if that comes true. I call a foul in this type of situation here in this one. I believe it's going to be about 7 seconds if they overturn this. But we're still waiting here in this one. And this is all like the D1 official here in this one. We have officials review. We have all kinds of stuff. Both teams are just standing out on the floor waiting right now, and that's never a good thing. You don't ever want the stoppage of play to be this long. Kids gonna get rested, and kind of get a breather and stuff. And now they rechanged it. They do change it back, said it did not hit the shot, or that it did not hit the rim, and it's going to be 9 seconds on the shot clock. So I was close with the 7, but they do overturn it thanks to the replays. They lob it into Tyler, and right off the inbounds, straight ahead as they inbound it to Tyler, and he lays it up and in for an easy 2. Well, they're trying to find somebody to inbound it to, and Tyler was awfully close to a 5-second call of Cody Jackson not being able to get the ball in. Instead, Plummer had to come all the way back to catch the inbounds after the made basket. 66-63 now, 3:13 left to play in this ball game. The Vikings lead it by 3 as Williams now trying to drive in. Back out to Cody Jackson for 3 at the top of the key. No, too strong. Ball's tipped into the hands of L.A. Bogan. Pulls down the board. He finds Johnson. 66-63. Lynx coming back the other way as there's a foul on the floor. L.J. Johnson was trying to drive in the left side lane. Drew some contact as that one was going to go on Cody Jackson. That's going to be his second. In team's 9th. So Johnson will go to the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity as Collins III checks out of the ball game for Watson. So it is a 1-and-1. Knocks down the first free throw, and again, this is where the free throws are going to come in handy. Got to be clutch down the stretch. Johnson has some ice water running through his veins, along with Trayvon Tyler as well. Maybe look for even J.J. Turner. He's a gamer as well. This whole Lynx team is, as he knocks down a pair right there. 66-65, and the first one up off the bench is Coach Lepp. He wants a win just as bad as anybody else here for the people in purple. As Cody Jackson feeds it to Watson. Down low to Williams, to Watson yet in. Down low to Ranger. Ranger reverse layup denied, though, by Bogan. And we're going to have a late foul called as Bogan, they're going to say, got him in the head after the block. Ranger was on the floor. He came up holding his left arm, little forearm in a way. Don't know if that's going to affect him here. So Ranger hits the first free throw right there. Here comes Trey Collins back into the ballgame for Watson, as this one's going to be a very close game. We talked about it coming down to the wire, as Ranger has one more free throw. Second one drops for him as well, 68-65, and it's back to a 3-point lead for the Vikings. 2:45 left to play. The Lynx have plenty of time, as here they go now on the offensive side of things. Trailing by 3 is Darnell Latham Jr. looking to change that. Takes a 3 from the corner, no good. Rebounded by the Vikings. The Lynx got the opportunity, just could not make the basket. Here come the Vikings now back the other way. Cody Jackson, bounce pass down low to Collins. Collins now to Williams in the left corner. Back out to Cody Jackson at the top of the key. He's guarded by Latham Jr. Bounce pass to Collins. Catching in transition, no. A tip back dunk, no good by Collins. Offensive rebound by Granger. He still can't hit. That ball's tipped in the air. Latham Jr. somehow, Tyler comes up with it, trying to go coast to coast. He goes up and under, no good. But L.A. Bogan is there for the rebound and putback. As now we see what they want to call right here. And they are going to count the basket. Trayvon Tyler was fouled in the act of shooting. And they're going to say count the basket as Cody Jackson III, they're going to call goaltending. Now Chad Lance is going to have an issue. Now Chad Lance all the way at midcourt, not happy about this right here. Trayvon Tyler, though, count the basket and the foul as he's going to go to the line to try to tie this ball game up at 68 apiece. As Watson checks back in, he comes in to get Collins. Here comes Julian Powell. He's going to check in for Bogan, but Powell's going to have to be careful. He's got 4 fouls. Going to have to be careful down the stretch. Look for offense, for defense with him and L.A. Bogan. As of right now, though, Tyler at the line to tie this game up at 68 with a minute 57 remaining. Tyler cannot hit the free throw, and we're going to be down by 1. 68-67 here after that. Minute 50 to go. 1 possession ball game. Lynx need to stop right here. Cody Jackson now with it to Williams at the top of the key. Swinging to the right wing in Watson. Watson now picked up by Powell. Now guarded by Johnson. Out to Plummer. Plummer makes Latham miss. Takes the step back 3 and buries it. Hesitated and buried home that 3. 71-67 now. Lynx kind of looking like the pressure's on as that one's tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with the Lynx right here. But this team, this whole arena is getting fired up as L.A. Bogan. Now timeout taken by Coach Lepp's squad, and you can hear it behind me as this crowd is fired up. Everybody in the building wants a win as bad as everybody in here. I mean, it is unreal. Never seen the intensity in all my 4 years of calling games for Lincoln College. This is by far, regardless of win or lose, one of the most exciting games it can come down to just by everything that has happened in this ball game and everything that is still to come. There's still a minute 27 left in this ball game. Don't think for a second that the Lynx are out of it. By all means, they can hit deadly three-point shots, and they're only 1 stop away right after that. So it's just going to come down to getting a stop here and making sure they can capitalize on the offensive end. One thing, though, that Missouri Valley is trying to do well is feed it inside to their big boys. They have Brazil, Moore, and Ranger all down there looking to find points. And it seems like they're going to probably go with Ranger here in this situation. I don't see him standing around over there. And haven't really seen much, though. I look for him to kind of get it down low. Look for a foul or some sort. Here in this one, 71-67 is our score. Minute 27 left to play. And Julian Powell checked back into the ball game. So it will be Lynx basketball here coming out of the timeout. Tyler set to inbound. Finds Latham Jr. Here we go with the Lynx. They need a basket right here. Tyler to Turner at the top of the key. To the right wing now in Johnson. Johnson back to Layton Jr. to Tyler. Tyler in the corner for 3, and you know it. Trayvon Tyler knocks down the long-range 3. 71-70 now, a minute 10 to play. Lynx trail by 1. Here they need a stop now. Cody Jackson with it for the Vikings. He's looking for Williams. Ranger and Powell doing everything he can down low to not let Ranger get that. So far, so good. Cody Jackson with it at the top of the key to Williams. And back to Cody Jackson. He gets a screen trying to drive in. Left side lane, puts up a shot. Denied now. But Johnson, I believe, is there for the foul. And that is going to go on Johnson. That's going to be his second. So that's going to send Cody Jackson to the line for 2 opportunities. So Cody Jackson knocks down the first to make it a two-point game, 72-70, 49 seconds left to play. He does have one more coming. Second one is in and out, so it's going to stay a 2-point lead for the Vikings. As now Trayvon Tyler going to call a timeout right here as Coach Lepp once again going to take another full timeout. We have a barn burner here in Marshall, Missouri. 72-70, 45 seconds remaining. And in this ball game, we've seen Missouri Valley up as many as 13 in this ballgame, but the second half, it's been trading buckets left and right, back and forth they go. as whoever went on a run would go on the other team would go on a run right afterhand, and it's been a good one. Lynx find themselves down by 2 here with 45 seconds left to play in this ball game. Trying to look over my shoulder here to see kind of what Coach Lepp's drawing up. They got somebody running to the corners and cutting underneath the basket, but that's about it. All I can see. Everything, you know how coaches are with those expo markers and Sharpies. They write it all down once, and then erase it real quickly and go, I hope you got it. And we're going to find out if the Lynx got it right here. Coming out of the timeout taken by Coach Lepp. 45 seconds remaining, 72-70. Lynx trail by 2. And this is another close game. The Lynx have been in about the 5th or 6th close one possession Lynx squad all along, and not usually come out on top. Hopefully they can right here. 72-70, 45 seconds to play. Lynx with the basketball as they find Tyler. Tyler over to Turner at the top of the key. In a 3-2 zone now here by the Vikings, as Johnson now with it to Tyler. Tyler, give and go with Turner. Turner from the corner. Yes! J.J. Turner buries a 3 from the corner. The most unlikely person to hit the 3, and it comes from number 3 in J.J. Turner. So now timeout taken by Coach Lepp. Takes a 30-second timeout, and then Montez Crumble checks back into the ball game. Here, a little defensive action as Montez Crumble, maybe not necessarily the best offensive player Coach Lepp has, but on defense, the guy can really fly here in this one. Look for him to kind of come up with a steal down the stretch. Coach Lepp firing up his team right here next to us. They need to stop. 28 seconds to play. Shot clock turned off. Lynx up by 1. So I'll look for the Vikings to hold for the final shot. If not, the Lynx will come out victorious. 73-72, 28.6 seconds left to play. Vikings with the basketball, however, the Lynx with the lead. Everybody is standing up on their feet. This has been a back-and-forth game all year long. And the Lynx trying to take the season series right here. 73-72. Cody Jackson now with it. Crumble, Powell, Turner, Latham Jr., and Tyler on the floor. 18 seconds left to play. Cody Jackson to Watson. Watson trying to back down his man. Turnaround hook. No good. Powell pulls down the rebound. He corrals it to Tyler. Tyler's holding it in the corner with 9 seconds to go. Now to Crumble. Crumble's going to have to be fouled hard, and he's going to go to the line with 6 seconds left to play. And if he can make some free throws, this Lynx team will come away victorious. And they're all standing up. Everybody wants this game as bad as anybody on both sides here in this one. And the jumper no good by Watson, who kind of was looking to pass and then ended up having taken it himself. Ends up sending Crumble to the line. And both fouls in the double bonus. So Crumble to the line for 2 opportunities. No good for the Lynx here, and this one does have one more coming, though. However, here comes Schulzenhauer into the ball game for Trey Collins III. Look for him to have a 3. As now Chad Lance wants to call a timeout. Try to ice Montez Crumble. And he's going to take a full timeout right here in this one. So once again, Coach Lepp and this Lynx squad going to have a chance to draw something up to get back on defense. There is 6.5 seconds left, so there is enough time for saying that Crumble right here and makes it a 2-point game. There is enough time for Missouri Valley to get down the floor and possibly get off a 3. However, though, a 3 with the miss by Montez would end up giving Missouri Valley the win. And in this game, I've seen almost everything I have that there is to see. We've seen benches clearing. We've seen fights in the stands. We've seen a back-and-forth ball game. It's been a heck of a game right here in Marshall, Missouri. And once again, why not come up to a final shot here against the Lynx? The Lynx have been doing it all season long. Hopefully they can come out on the right end of a final shot right here this time, but they're going to have to play defense right here. And right there, their motto was one stop. They need one stop right here. one more stop for the Lynx, and this ball game is over. But first, Montez Crumble at the line for one more free throw to try to make this a 2-point game. 73-72, Lynx on top as Montez Crumble at the free throw line. And once again, Chad Lance wants to talk things over yet again to ice Crumble one more time. You see this happen in football all the time, taking the timeouts to try to ice the kicker, but we'll see if that helps. But Montez Crumble, very dangerous from the free throw line, one of the better free throw shooters, as I would probably say, for this Lynx squad. However, though, they need one stop. Chad Lance calling a timeout to see what maybe the Lynx wanted to do, set up defensively. However, though, it makes Montez think about it just a little bit more. Now, how big would this be if the Lynx could come out on top right here? They've battled hard throughout this entire ball game. They've been down by as many as 13 early in the first half. They've been battling the crowd. They've battled some of these officials with looking at some of these replays. That's a first for us here on the road, and we'll have to see now. They're only 6 seconds away from picking up a W right here, but Montez Crumble at the line once again. Looks cool, calm, and collected. The whole crowd going nuts right here. Crumble's second one, no good as well. That ball's tipped, no good. Plummer now with it, 4 seconds to play. Gonna have to throw up a prayer, he does. And it's no good, it's off as the putback is in. No. The putback by Watson, no good yet again. And your Lynx come out victorious here in this one. The final score of 72-73 over Missouri Valley. So this was a much-needed victory here for the Lynx. They improved to 7-6 on the season as Missouri Valley falls to 3-6. But it was a heck of a game on both sides of the bench here and on the floor for both squads. Again, both teams played their hearts out. Like we said, both teams wanted to win this game after the jump ball with Turner and Watson, and then getting after it at the end of the first half. And now you have the Lynx come out victorious here in this one by the final score of 73-72 as the Vikings meet at half court. But that's going to do it all for us here in this one as the Lynx are victorious. We will play tomorrow. However, we will stay the night here, but we will play tomorrow. Missouri Science and Technology here in this one, and that one will be at 7:30 tomorrow night as well. The Lynx still cheering over there as they're trying to keep the fans from going over there. But that's going to do it all for me. We will see you guys tomorrow right here in Missouri. Don't go anywhere. Lynx by a final of 73-72 and take the season sweep over Missouri Valley. We'll see you guys tomorrow right here on 89X. And thank you so much for listening. I'm Nick. Again, thank you, Vera, for board hopping for us. That'll do it all. I'm Nick Jackson, and we will see you guys tomorrow night right here in Missouri. Thanks for listening to Lincoln College Basketball on 89X.
That's all she wrote. This concludes tonight's coverage of Lincoln College Basketball on 89X.